I didn't want to have to do this, but somebody's got to do it, right? Internet Anarchist is currently fooling the entire internet and trying to act like he's a victim from YouTube's AI moderation. Now, everybody's willing to listen to him because YouTube's AI moderation, as you guys know, I've made plenty of videos talking about it, does falsely demonetize a lot of channels all the time. Although in this case, I think that they actually made the right decision. So if you guys don't know who Internet Anarchist is, he is a documentary YouTuber. He makes videos about the downfall of certain YouTubers. His entire channel is essentially talking about the downfall of certain channels.
So you had this ugly little Antifa right here. Like, you look at this guy's face and you just think, right?
Come on, children, your wife, all day. Put it, my boy. I have your face,
I have your face.
You're dead, dead.
That's about as loud as this voice can get. Seriously?
Back up now, because I'm about that life. You said come on? You said come on, right? Yeah, it's small now. Put this thing down. Tell your voice to back up.
God, Antifa they're such rage baiters, aren't they? That's what that was. I got your face.
Come on, children, your wife.
Your children, your wife are dead. I got your face, all dead.
All day. Put it, my boy. I have your face, You're dead, dead.
That is the... Do you know what Antifa, like, operate like? Do you know what their behavior and the way they act and the way they move? Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the cordyceps virus. The cordyceps fungus. You know about this? So the cordyceps fungus, whenever it affects tarantulas and other insects, essentially what it does is it kills the host, right? It eats away at the host's brain and body matter from the inside. And then it takes control of the host. It can walk around, it can climb up trees. I think it can even still eat. Although I don't think it needs to. And I feel like that's what I'm watching here. This is a human being who's been rotted out entirely, hollowed out like a babushka doll. And in its place, flailing his limbs around, shouting out of his mouth, is something or someone else. Their eyes are dead.
My boy, I have your face, You're dead.
This guy should be at home enjoying the game with an American flag on the wall. Instead, what he's doing is that he's giving death threats to federal agents. In good news, FBI has just raided and arrested the man who I caught on video threatening the lives of an ICE agent and his family outside of ICE Newark. Nicholas Scelfo is facing federal felonies. This is how it's done. Thank you to FBI Director Cash and Todd Blanche for personally working with me on this. You promised you'd find him, and you delivered. Well done. Acting Attorney General Blanche, around, find out. Yeah, well, we got your face, we got your face. Leftists operate all the same. Okay, it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They all act the same way. They all have the same behaviors. They'll use the same inflections, the same arrogance, the same talking points, the same debunked talking points. They all act the same. And because of this, because they do not have any sense of individuality, because of this, I do really believe that they are a hive mind collective that has been infected by something else. I mean, we know what it is. They wear very small hats on the top of their heads. Yeah, that story was nuts, man. I got your face, mother. Your wife, your children, dead. One of the left extremists who was arrested for kicking and biting ICE agents. Biting ICE agents! In New Jersey was previously charged with sexual abuse of children. Of course he was! Of course he was! Hell, that's the bite! Sexual abuse of children related to dissemination and possession of child. These monsters are the foundation of today's Democratic Party. Yeah. This is them. This is leftists. Pedos. What do you expect from a political ideology that was willing to incorporate minor attracted people as a protected class? That's leftism. Conservatism was not going to have minor attracted people, pedophiles, as a protected group. Are we surprised that they're full of pedos? The reason why they were entertaining the idea of having minor attracted people, pedophiles, wood chipper bait. The reason why they were entertaining the idea was because that's them. That's all of them. Jesus Christ. You're being bitten by a pedo who thinks he's morally superior to you. What have I told you? I've told you this time and time again. Okay? They are the most despicable, deplorable, reprehensible rejects of society. They are degenerative to the point of child sexual abuse. They are monsters. And not only are they deplorable sacks of shit personally, but they're also political violence advocates, and they believe to be the best. They still think, despite all these things, that they're the good guys. How do they do that? Why do they think they're good? It's because they put us even lower than them. These repugnant think that they are morally just and have superior virtues because they put us so much lower than them. It's the only way. It's the only way. The left need to be crushed, annihilated. I'm gonna say this almost every stream because it needs to be said and it needs to be drilled into people. The left need to be annihilated. I know the right wingers are gonna be like, well, no, we're gonna find a place for everyone's opinion in society because, you know, we live in free speech. And no, okay, that has been proven to not work. They cannot be allowed anything, not a modicum of liberty. For their bullshit. It is not permissible under any circumstance. If you want to live in a society that is truly a utopia, well, then you're going to have to eradicate leftist discourse entirely. It has to be crushed because it is constantly, exclusively designed for sowing the seeds of degeneracy that poisons and rots society from within. It's specifically designed to target a woman's natural instinct to want to nurture and protect those that require it. But she is under no obligation to sacrifice. In fact, she has no authority and is under no obligation to sacrifice the safety of other women, herself, and her country to do that. If you see a man that is openly joining Antifa, that is screeching on the streets about killing a guy's entire family over a political ideology because he wants to defend Somalians from being deported, ripping a parasite, squiggling out of the fucking host and flicked back over to Somalia, then what he's done, what you're looking at, when you see a man that has been brainwashed by this, you're seeing a man who has been brainwashed by propaganda that was designed for a woman. That's That's funny. That propaganda was designed to work on a woman, and he fell for it. Lay off the Soylent, big boy. But leftism needs to be annihilated. I'm switching this off. If you see a man openly joining Antifa, he's gay. You have to crush the left. They cannot be spare no quarter. They need to be eradicated. They really do. That ideology, it needs to be ridiculed. It needs to be dragged out into the spotlight, laid bare for all to see, and humiliated to an audience. And anyone who possibly thinks that engaging in leftism, communism, Marxism, any of these things needs to be publicly humiliated as a result. Because right now, it is going to be generational. It's going to be generational to reverse the damage that's been done by leftists, okay? And thankfully, because they do not reproduce, there are going to be far more children born into conservative households than there have been into leftist households. Because of course their very nature is self-destructive. They cannot maintain themselves. They are going to die out. Their ideology does not allow them to exist, which I think is the funniest thing in the world. They have the numbers they have now, and it's going to dwindle. This is why they're so persistent about your kid. This is why they're trying so hard to get to your kid. It's because they know the only way that they can possibly continue is if they indoctrinate and propagandize the next generation. It's the only way they know they can do that, but it's not gonna work, okay? Because more children are going to be homeschooled, more children are going to be made aware of this leftist propaganda by their parents, more children are going to be protected.
Welcome back to a series so yummy. Even this watermelon subscribed. In today's video, Hasan is going viral for potentially incriminating himself on a recent podcast. He accidentally justified communicating with state-sponsored terrorist orgs. He starts crying about the US government questioning him about his associations with terrorist groups. I wonder why they do that.
I believe what the Houthis are doing is a good thing. 10 toes fucking down. I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. So of course they're gonna fucking say death to America. What do you mean?
Hasan's propaganda account desperately tries to defend him by saying it's out of context, but completely fails. They have cooked up a clip of Asman ending his stream versus Hasan, trying to portray Hasan as a source of positivity.
How can I be okay?
Hasan has been confronted IRL by multiple people for shocking his dog, supporting terrorists, and and advocating murder, the big three. They follow him around asking him questions, and Hassan desperately tries to run away. They bring up Charlie Kirk, and Hassan tries mocking him, saying that he's carrying the flame and saying the "We Are Charlie Kirk" slogan. Female Jillywig, aka Cutie, is now threatening to DMCA Twitter farmers for clipping her, potentially maliciously. Asmongold is back rage baiting, calling himself a Western monk intellectual and a NEET who is changing society and culture itself through the internet. Hassan is salivating right now. Subscribe or you get followed around and called a dog zapper. Only Kaya is shocked.
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's begin. Right, welcome back everybody. So apparently Hassan is going viral again for potentially incriminating himself on a podcast. So this time he's justifying communicating with state-sponsored terrorist orgs, you know, as you do. Just another day being Hassan Piker, of course. He needs to do the on-the-ground journalism. What do you think, I'm just a Twitch streamer? People watch me for my terrorist support. I need to provide my loyalty. We got this tweet. Did Hassan Piker incriminate himself again on Trevor Noah's podcast? And he also talks about him getting detained by border security.
Like, as an American citizen and as a member of the media, of course I'm going to sometimes talk to members of you know, state-sponsored terrorist organizations. That's a normal part of the process, and it's protected by the First Amendment, right? They did this secondary detention and then interrogation where they asked me, like, what are your thoughts on Israel? What are your thoughts on Donald Trump? Have you ever been in contact with like anyone from Hamas, Hezbollah, Ansar Allah movement, like the Houthis? When they kept asking me about Hamas, what my thoughts are, I just kept repeating, Hamas is designated as a terrorist organization by the State Department. I just kept repeating that line over and over again.
Which is a fact.
It's just a fact.
Yeah.
It's not
your opinion.
It's not my opinion. Yeah. It's just a fact about Hamas. And then when they asked me about Trump, Trump, I was like, that's when I did pushback where I was like, yeah, I don't like him. Like, what do you mean? Yeah.
Damn.
I was like, yeah, I don't like him. What are you talking about? I'm an American citizen entering my country. Like, that's ridiculous. And they didn't give me too much stress about that.
Right. I mean, it's funny how other people don't really get questioned about their support or their potential communications with several different terrorist orgs. It's funny how other people actually don't do interviews with people who claim to be bombing ships and introduce them on their stream proudly as Houthi pirates. It's funny only Hassan seems to do that, and somehow he's still flabbergasted. He's like, what? The country I'm living in is investigating if I'm collaborating with terrorist orgs who want to end American lives after I routinely justify terrorist attacks. Wow, why would they do this? Oh my god. Also, would it colossally dumb thing to admit? Honestly, if Hassan ever gets arrested, it's gonna be because of his own fucking mouth, because he literally cannot shut up. But honestly, I don't know why I'm stopping him. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Keep yapping, bro. You're not doing yourself any favors. Right, so he continues, Hassan throws a lot at us at once. Holder versus Humanitarian Law Project is the precedent that matters for Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis because it concerns designated foreign terrorist orgs. Independent speech is protected, but coordinated services, training, expert advice, or support to an FTO are not automatically protected just because they involve speech. Cuba is a different issue. It's not an FTO, it's a state sponsor of terrorism. A coordinated project involving money, services, or support for sanctioned regime entities is not automatically legal just because somebody calls it journalism. Right, we got Hassan's number one dick rider propaganda account. Why did you deliberately cut out the pot right after where Hassan says, I haven't? He was talking about the First Amendment protections in general. Amendment. Your dishonest framing once again shows you have no credibility when covering him. No, the person who has credibility is Hasanabi Productions meme